yeah, one should consider adding it.
Understood. Thank you so much for that. And we have a caller joining us from Hyderabad now. Hi, Dheeraj. Good evening.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening.
Yeah.
So actually, I would like to know regarding this query, like both short-term and long-term, should I exit or not? So my query is regarding PG Electroplast, ma'am.
Okay.
So I hold a huge quantity, like around 825 shares at 668 is my buying price.
Yeah.
So my query is, will I be held up if I hold on to the stock for 1 year term or more than 1 year to recover my money? Or in short term, is there a chance at least to getting back to the levels of 600, 630? Is there any chance of possibilities or everything available? Things I would like to know regarding this stock, ma'am. I'm a bit worried regarding this because the fall isn't stopping.
Absolutely. I'll get your
investor
query.
wealth is,
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Investor wealth is like going down a lot.
Yeah.
And one more query is
I think,
the market
Dheeraj,
also,
I'm afraid that I'll be able to cater.
I'm not asking any other query actually.
Okay.
Market,
regarding
actually.
this only. Yeah.
Regarding market. So the companies are posting good results only during only regarding the Trump tariffs. Why are all the companies underperforming? Not even a single sector is an uptrend. So is this a bear phase or will there be a pullback rally? That's it, ma'am.
All right. So firstly, I'd like to, cater to PG Electroplast, in which you have made some significant losses there. So Vaibhav, in its Q1 results also, so they were, weak results, whereas the net profit was down 20%, EBITDA was also down 7.2%. So considering this factor also in mind, so is it still advisable for Dheeraj to stay put with this investment for another 1 year so that he can probably, recover his losses? Vaibhav?
I think
Yes, please go ahead. I think there's some network issue happening there, but I'd like to switch to Gaurav for the meanwhile. Gaurav, you've heard the query. So what's your sense on PG Electroplast, like if you have to holistically view this counter?
So firstly, I'll address the specific question on this PG Electroplast that is hurting him the most. The stock has tumbled down in the past two trading session after its results were posted, wherein the company has reported lesser than expected numbers, and they have also reduced their profit guidance going ahead. So that is a result of a sudden slide seen in this stock. Post the numbers, Nomura also came out with its coverage on this stock, and they have reduced the target price, if I'm not wrong, by 35 odd percentage points here. So these are the two main factors behind it. Is actually largely the profit guidance being hit, and the company itself saying that they won't be able to come up with those kind of results as were promised or reported earlier. That is the main reason why the stock is tumbling down.
Yeah. And Vaibhav is joining us again. Vaibhav, you've heard my query regarding PG Electroplast. So how are you viewing it, so that are you seeing any sort of positivity in just like in around 1 year time?
First of all, if we see stock is already trading at a higher PE than industry, and things will take time. I will say we should look for those stocks which are more dependent towards the demography of India and higher exposure towards India. So in future, there is a probability we can expect minor stress in the revenue growth. So my view is for near term is quite pessimistic, but we should observe the market at this point of time. What will be the new government initiatives and policies to protect our domestic market, and as per that we should take our positions.
Understood. Thank you so much for that. And quickly, about his second question that he asked about the jitters around the Trump's tariff. So although the market has kind of negated the Trump's tariff tirade, as we can, clearly see, but still, Gaurav, I'd like to come to you and, just your view on the same, and what should be the key sectors to actually look on?
Firstly, I would prefer to, share some data with the viewer and all the viewers actually. These are around slightly over 300 companies who have reported their numbers so far from the Nifty 500 pack. And if I talk about the revenue stuff, so I was reading an article. There is an average 7% growth reported by these companies who have reported their numbers in terms of revenue sales figures. And as far as profits are concerned, the PAT figures stood at an average of 9%. So these are not at all poor numbers reported by the companies so far. So definitely we are not into recession or anywhere close to it. So the viewers should not worry at all about these. The tariff-related issues are something which will be sorted out soon. It's almost 6 months gone by. Half of the year is behind us. I think in the next 1 or 2 months, these things will be settled and things should start normally.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Now let's go across to Shankar joining us from Chennai on the phone line. Hi Shankar, good evening.
Good evening. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. Please go ahead with your query.
Thank you. Past April, I bought 1,300 IDFC First Bank shares at the rate of 53 rupees 60 paise.
Okay.
My plan is 3 to 6 months holding time.
Yeah.
Already 3 months left.
Okay.
So what can I do? Shall I wait for another 3 months or exit at current levels? Because last 1 month, is trading choppy.
Understood. So Gaurav, coming to you quickly, because he has made some profits there around 8,000 rupees. So should he be booking his profits at this particular juncture or should he stay put for another 3 months?
I think he should hold on to his position. Considering another 3 months, he can hold on to his position. The stock is likely to test somewhat around 74 to 76 range sometime soon. I'll advise him a small stop loss here. He should take a stop at 66. So that's kind of a 5% here.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now let's go across to Snigdha joining us on the phone line from Hyderabad. Hi Snigdha, good evening.
Hi, this is Snigdha from Hyderabad. So
Yes.
my query is regarding HAL.
Okay. HAL?
So yes, HAL.
Okay.
So I've purchased 44 shares at 4460 today morning.
Yeah.
So my query is regarding this short-term perspective for 2 to 3 months.
Okay, so a
how
trading
much profit do
perspective.
they
Yeah.
Yes.
A trading perspective on HAL. Gaurav, without wasting much time, I'll quickly come to you. So what are you picking up from the charts?
Chart formation is pretty good. It is just that it is spending some more time here. I'll advise her to take a stop at 4,400, hold on to her position, wait for some time. And I think once the stock passes 4,700 odd levels, it will rush up towards 5,000 and beyond. As of now, it is a hold from my side.
So that's a hold on HAL for a trading perspective. Now let's go across to another caller, Shumant Kumar, joining us from Hyderabad. Hi, Shumant Kumar. Good evening.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone.
Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, it's correct, actually. Sumant.
Okay. So please go ahead with your query.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah. See, actually, I'm holding Colgate 200 quantity at the price of 2450.
Yeah.
Even I've acquired at very low price, but still stop trading. I'm moving to the 50-week lows and even though 1.5 year lows. So I can hold the stock for the next 1 year, for the next 3 to 4 quarters.
Okay.
I want to know the good fundamental company only, but it's not performing up to the mark. Can you provide your view on the next 1 year, how would be the Colgate can perform?
Okay, so Shumant Kumar, you're asking whether you want to actually switch from Colgate to some other counter.
No. I'm holding it's a 10% yearly to laugh on the current price.
Yeah.
I can able to hold the stock from the next 1 year. I can able to hold the stock.
Okay, understood. So, Vaibhav, now I'd come to you. Colgate is the counter in which he is incurring a loss currently. But, talking about the fundamentals of the company, and so do you advise Shumant Kumar to stay invested in it for another 1 year?
First of all, if we see on trailing 12-month basis, Colgate revenue growth is not that much robust, and stock is trading at an appropriate valuation. But if we will consider the overall market conditions, so we can expect a sideways revenue growth in this particular company. So my view is that if holding duration is more than 1 year, then surely we can hold this stock, because for near 1 to 2 quarters, we can expect a very sideways trend in this particular stock.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you so much for that. Now let's go across to another caller joining us from Bengaluru. Hi, Krishnan. Good evening. Krishnan, are you there?
Good evening. Yeah, I'm there.
Yes,
I
please
want
go
to
ahead
ask
with the
about
query.
Kalyan Jewellers.
Yeah. Yes, Krishnan?
I'm holding. Yeah, asking about Kalyan Jewellers. I'm holding 176 shares at the rate of 231 rupees I purchased.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the results are announced on Friday. Again, it is going down. Results are too good, but I don't know. It is going down. I can hold for another 2 years. Whether it will come back to 700 level, because that is what the Goldman Sachs and others have predicting the level.
Okay, okay. So, Vaibhav, since the brokerages have, they are bullish on the counter and they've, given some target price there. But, and also, if we talk about the Q1 results, so they were good, good results there. So, what do you really, view Kalyan Jewellers as like a strong bet for a long-term investment purpose? And also, are you seeing it crossing the 700 mark?
So first of all, if we see, results were good, but not as per the expectation. So that's why after the results, stock was down. And we can expect good moment, but in near terms, as I said that earlier also, revenue growth will be not that much robust, because of the international crisis, there is a probability that urban demand can get impacted, and our government already have taken a lot of initiative to maintain the urban demand. So these all things will impact the revenue growth of this company also. But yes, impact will be, I will say, minor. So means results will not be that much robust. So surely if we will hold this stock for like 2 years, there is a very high probability that we can see a good upward movement. But near 1 quarter or two quarter, we can expect a sideways trend.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for that. Now, let's quickly go across to Mr. Murli joining us on the phone line from Bengaluru. Hi, Mr. Murli. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes.
Thank you for taking up my query, ma'am.
It's our pleasure. Please go ahead with the query.
No, I bought Jyoti Resin,
Okay.
a small cap company
Yeah.
with a Euro brand additives, and it is around 348 rupees.
Okay.
It is a good ROE,
Yeah.
debt free,
Uh,
5% market share.
Mr. Murli, you bought
And,
it at
what is the
348 rupees. Am I correct?
1 minute. I bought it, sorry, I got it 1,348. Sorry.
1,000. Okay, yeah. 1348, right?
1,348.
Yeah.
Yeah. With almost no debt equity, zero. Not a very expensive stock, except that it's a small cap stock.
Yeah. So you'd want to
what
know.
future projects can add more?
Okay.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay. So, Vaibhav, I'd like to come to you. Jyoti Resins is the counter. Mr. Murli has invested in it for keeping a long-term view in mind. So, what's your holistic sense on the counter?
First of all, company have very high only domestic exposure, and they have delivered improved number in FY25, and stock is even trading at a very attractive PE as compared to industry. So yes, surely we can hold this stock for near terms, and this stock have that potential to deliver improved numbers in upcoming quarters.
Okay. So there's hope, and Mr. Murli can stay put with this investment. Now let's go across to Amol joining us on the phone line from Noida. Hi Amol, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, how can I help you today?
Yeah, I'm holding 100 shares of SBI
Okay.
and my buying price is 800 rupees.
Okay.
So I just want to know the short-term target based on the technical charts.
Okay. So Gaurav, SBI, how are you viewing it technically, and what sort of numbers you're anticipating there?
Firstly, I would like to say a general disclosure here. We are bullish on the PSU banking space, and SBI and Canara Bank remain our favorite picks. We have recommended these stocks to our clients as well, so they may have their positions. Now, coming on to this specific query, we are, as I've said, we are bullish on SBI from a short-term perspective. I'm eyeing levels close to 860 to 880 levels in the immediate near term, and thereafter, 900 to 940 zone can also be seen in the next 6 months.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Now we have Pradeep joining us on the phone line from Bengaluru. Hi, Pradeep. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, how can I help you?
I'm having 200 shares of Balrampur Chini.
Okay.
Bought at 351 rupees.
Yeah.
Around 3 years back.
Okay.
Now, I just wanted to know whether I should hold on to it for another 1 or 2 years, or whether buying Anantraj would be a better proposition in view of its entry into this data center space.
Understood. So, Gaurav, I'd like to take your view on it first. Balrampur Chini, currently he has made, decent amount of profits, but, in a span of 3 years, he has been able to make 40,000 of profit. So is it still advisable for him to actually continue with this investment, or should he switch to Anantraj, like he said, at this point of time?
Firstly, I advise him to take a stop at 520. And if the stop is taken out, the stock will enter into a short to medium term bear zone, wherein 460 to even 440 levels can be seen. So no point holding up that stock at that time. So I think if the stock is taken out, then he should switch over to Anantraj, or he can put in some fresh money here. I'm not suggesting him to cut out his positions right now. So it's better to take a stop in Balram Chini and wait for some more time. And if he's having some spare cash, yes, he can take some position in Anantraj as well.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Now we have Mr. K.K. Sharma joining us on the phone line from Chandigarh. Hi, Mr. Sharma. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
I have 300 shares of RK Fortune, which I bought recently.
Okay.
Can I hold it for a longer time, and can I buy more?
Understood. So, Vaibhav, Ramkrishna Forging is the counter. So he has recently purchased it, but should he be accumulating more? Are you seeing it as a strong, counter for a long-term investment purpose?
Yes, surely we can hold this stock for long term because of the, as I told earlier, also international things. Stocks are going down. We have seen a profit booking in various stocks. And at this point of time, there are so many good stocks available at a very attractive valuation for long-term investment. And Ramakrishna Forging is also one of the stock. Company have delivered robust numbers in past, and this company even have ability to deliver very attractive numbers in upcoming years. So surely we can hold this for like 1 or 2 years.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Now, let's go across to Srinivasan, who's joining us from Vellore on the phone line. Hi, Srinivasan. Good evening. Srinivasan, are you there on the phone line? I think we've lost the line there. But we have his query. He actually has 1 lakh rupee of corpus with him, and he wants to enter. He's asking whether it's the right time to enter Tata Tech. So, Gaurav, I'd like to come to you on this. It's currently trading at 660 rupee. Stock, if I look at the movement of the stock, it's pretty much in a downward trend there. But do you see it as a buying on dips opportunity, or would you suggest like, a hold, or you shouldn't be entering this counter at this particular level?
Firstly, there are no signs at all of any kind of reversal coming in. If you look at its past couple of quarters performance, financials also, nothing meaningful has turned up from that front. It is completely, a muted set of numbers coming in. Charts are also suggesting a downward trend. Since its listing, it has been hitting lower lows. One among those Tata Group companies which has failed to create the investor's wealth. At least so far, it has not performed well. I won't be suggesting him to take a position in this.
Okay. Rightly suggested. And now let's go across to Venkat, who's joining us from Chennai on the phone line. Hi, Venkat. Good evening.
Yeah, hi, madam. Good evening.
Yeah.
This is regarding Tata Steel.
Okay.
Holding 100 stocks at the rate of 158. Need suggestion for next 6 months.
Okay, so Tata Steel, currently it's trading at 159. He's recently purchased it, Gaurav. So what are the charts suggesting?
I think from a six months kind of a perspective, nothing to worry about. The stock is looking good. It has performed well in the past, maybe somewhat in the past 6 months. And I think a breakup of 165, 170 zone will take it towards 180, 185 levels. So clearly a hold from my side.
Okay, so that's a hold on Tata Steel for next 6 months. Now we have Jai Kishan, who's joining us from Gwalior on the phone line. Hi, Jai Kishan. Good evening. Jai Kishan, are you there on the phone line? I think we've lost the line there again, but we have his query. He holds 1,000 shares of Titagarh at 900 rupee a piece. He's looking for a long-term view on the counter, and he is sitting on a loss of almost 1.24 lakh rupees there. So Vaibhav, Titagarh, how are you viewing it fundamentally?
First of all, there are no very huge new developments in railway segment, and there are expectations that we can see good new updates in this particular segment. So as stock is already trading at a very lower levels, we can even add some quantity of this stock, and we can expect good upward movement in this particular stock.
Understood. And Gaurav, I'd also like to come to you, since the stock was down in trade today over 3%, and currently it's trading at 776. But still, are you seeing any sort of positivity in the counter, any sort of bounce back in the near term if we look at technically?
Technical scenario is completely different from what fundamentals and financials are suggesting. It still looks like there is some more pain left, and the stock is likely to touch 675, 675 levels. So I think from my side, it is a white kind of a stock.
Okay, so that's a void, and with that, I'm afraid that we are running short of time on the show. But thank you so much, Gaurav and Vaibhav, for always, patiently answering all those queries, and thank you so much for being with us. And with that, viewers, it's a wrap on this edition of Ask Profit. But please don't go anywhere, as there's so much action lined up ahead on the other side of the break.
जय जवान, जो मैंने शुरू किया था ये एक्चुअली, मैं दोबारा आया हूँ आप लोग से मिलने के लिए। मुझे बड़ी खुशी है, आप देख रहे हैं YouTube पे मेरी फिल्म। वाह, क्या बात है, क्या बात है। जय जवान मेरे साथ 15 अगस्त को सिर्फ NDTV पर। जय जवान, जय जवान, जय हिंद, जय हिंद।
हेलो बोलिए मैडम, डब्बा ट्रेडिंग कब से चल रहा है पता है मैडम आपको? हम और आप तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था हमारा।
We investigated a shady advisory firm that has spent big bucks on advertising on the front pages of national dailies.
ये आपको बिल्कुल उसका ऐसा हल्का सा भी खौफ नहीं है।
मैडम एक बात, खौफ किस लिए रखना चाहिए ये तो बताओ, कौन सा गलत काम कर रहा हूँ मैं?
After our report, we also saw NSE came out with a cautionary circular to the investors. Market Regulator Securities and Exchange Board of India has also come out with a release talking about the actions that it has taken. Cyber complaint has also been filed against the entities involved in this entire Dabba trading scam.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold IDFC for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The
Nifty logs the best closing since the 26th of June, gains close to 1% to close above 24,500 points. Sensex closes at over 700 points. All sectors end higher with Nifty PSU Bank as the best performing sector. July sees record SIP inflows of more than 28,400 crore rupees, with thematic mutual funds witnessing the highest influx of over 9,400 crore. NFOs drive the inflows into actively managed funds. The Finance Ministry expects 55% of exports to the US will face reciprocal tariffs, adds that the terms of contract and quality will influence export resilience. Government tables Taxation Laws Amendment Bill 2025 in Parliament, brings big relief for partnership firms and family offices. The latest version proposes to drop adverse alternative minimum tax. CCI seeks more inputs in anti-competition petition against quick commerce players, asks petitioner to submit detailed information on impact of quick commerce's market dominance, deep discounting and alleged business irregularities. FMCG sales show early signs of recovery ahead of festive season. Sales were driven by chocolates and confectionery as retailers prepare for Raksha Bandhan. Delhi police detain opposition MPs including Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Sanjay Raut while protesting outside the Election Commission's office. Ukrainian President Zelensky briefs Prime Minister Modi on recent developments of the Ukraine conflict, speaks to him on the phone regarding bilateral ties, while the Prime Minister reaffirms India's consistent position for peaceful settlement. Good evening, you're watching Profit 360 on NDTV Profit and I'm Sanjana. Over the next half an hour, we're going to bring you the latest in markets as well as national and international news. So let's take a look at how the markets fared today. We saw no Monday blues as the Nifty and Sensex ended nearly 1% higher, rebounding sharply from Friday's lows. Mid and small cap indices ended higher but underperformed the benchmarks. Now all sectoral indices closed in the green with Nifty PSU Bank as the top gainer. My colleague Harsh joining in for a quick wrap of the market action.
Well, we had a couple of tough weeks, right? And today was a bit of a bounce back. Monday blues completely brushed off by the index. We've closed around 0.8% higher. Best day of intraday close since probably the end of June, 26th of June is what I'm told. It's the best intraday move that the Nifty has made since that date. So solid move, largely led by the breadth. So it wasn't like the heavyweights aided the index or the like, but IT banks were certainly finding favor in trade today. The IT index was up 0.5%. The banks were also up 0.8, largely in line with the Nifty. And that of course aided the Nifty. But outside of that, it was just the breadth which was extremely strong. Nearly 40 stocks clocked the green on the Nifty 50, which is clearly what has led to that uptick. 4% higher on an Adani Enterprises. That's the one stock that really stood out in trade among others. The other one was Voltas, of course, which was under pressure on the back of numbers, of course, but that's within broader markets. Along with that, the consumer durables index within sectoral indices faced some heat on the back of those numbers, and also a PG Electroplast continued to face heat. So that was broadly the way in which the market moved. But let's talk a little bit about sectors as well. Pretty much all sectors in the green outside of that consumer discretionary sector, which faced some bit of headwind due to Voltas' numbers. When you're looking at the broader markets as well, the breadth was extremely choppy pretty much through the day, but we closed the day with the breadth in the green. 1200 odd advances to just about 1000 declines. That was roughly the ratio. And the Nifty mid cap index and small cap index underperformed the large cap, courtesy the breadth on the large cap, which was extremely strong. So the mid cap index was up just about 0.6% and the small cap index was up a little less than 0.5% odd in trade. So that's how it played out overall. The BSE 500, of course, plenty of gainers, losers. Amber was one of those within that EMS pack, which faced some amount of heat among the losers. But broadly on the back of numbers, some reactions with regard to those numbers coming through on the BSE 500 in terms of names.
Meanwhile, Indian investors poured a record 28,464 crore into mutual funds through SIPs in July. Now, this is 4% higher versus June. The surge shows a steady retail investor participation in India's financial markets. Let's turn to my colleague Alex for a detailed analysis of the SIP data. Alex, over to you.
Strong inflows into mutual funds in July despite a pretty torrid time for the equity markets. Let's talk about the headline though, and it's once again a record number for the SIP inflows, that is the systematic investment plan inflows. This is gross inflows and that stands at 28,464 crore rupees. But there's also a very sizable amount of money all told that has come through into actively managed equity mutual fund schemes. That's also a big talking point. As much as 42,700 crore rupees coming through. Of course, that's a very pretty number, but 9,000 crore rupees approximately of that coming through in the form of new fund offers. Most of that in the thematic and sectoral category, which is, as you know, the most popular category now, with a total assets under management of about 5.1 lakh crore rupees. Now, there has been sizable inflow in multiple categories. You have flexi-cap funds that have gotten 7,650 crore rupees, small cap and mid cap, which has cumulatively got about 11,000 crore rupees, large and mid cap, which has gotten over 5,000 crore rupees, and even multi-cap, which has gotten close to 4,000 crore rupees. So pretty even spread, but there is a gravitation towards the diversified funds. Fixed income mutual fund schemes, and this is something that normally takes place at the start of a new quarter, saw inflows of over 1 lakh crore rupees. This is par for the course. A lot of liquid funds as well as money market funds see inflows at the start of the quarter and outflows at the end of the quarter. Now finally, a quick point on the hybrid category. The multi-asset funds continue to find takers. Over 6,000 crore rupees flowing into this category, and arbitrage funds also are seen increasingly as an alternative to short-term debt funds. They've seen inflows of 7,300 crore rupees at the start of the quarter as well. All told, a very good set of numbers for the mutual fund industry, and it bodes well going forward as well.
Meanwhile, the Lok Sabha has cleared the revised income tax bill, and in a big relief for partnership firms and family offices, the new bill has dropped the controversial alternative minimum tax proposal. Most recommendations from the select parliamentary panel have been included in this latest draft. But for more, let me go across to my colleague Shrimi, who has more details on the key changes that have been proposed in the new bill.
Aligning the applicability of alternate minimum tax for limited liability partnership with the existing provision, removing the expanded scope that would have included those partnership firms, even though they are not claiming any kind of tax benefit or deduction. The move is a huge relief for those partnership firm family offices, as earlier draft actually expanded the scope of those, making them pay 18.5% of capital gains. Now, another crucial amendment is with respect to the income tax refunds. Now, The original draft, which was introduced on February 13, included a provision saying that refunds were not allowed if returns were filed on or before the date. Now, the clause has now completely been omitted, restoring that refunds even for belated returns, a move that is clearly coming as a big relief to taxpayers. Another key change is related to transfer pricing provision. While the definition of associated enterprises remains unchanged, certain section language and structure have been simplified to help interpretation and reduce a lot of dispute related to that area. Now, meanwhile, government has also responded to feedback on the initial draft. Notably, it has decided against the select committee recommendation on the part of beneficial provision on the carry forward losses. So that was not accepted. Now, besides, the new bill aimed to align tax laws with new pension reforms, international investment agreements, and procedural clarifications addressing several key areas that were point of discussion in the earlier draft. So, for example, it has introduced a separate taxation amendment extending benefit available to sovereign wealth funds to Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund and its wholly owned subsidiaries. So according to tax experts, most amendment actually focus on the language simplification to avoid earlier confusion, and there has been no change in the tax rate or rebates in the final version of income tax bill.
Meanwhile, the Finance Ministry is expecting the reciprocal tariffs from the US to impact 55% of India's exports to the US. And in its response to the tariffs levied by the US, the ministry has said that the exporters may face cost pressure and added that the Commerce Department is actively engaging with exporters and industry. Shrimi is back to tell us more on the Finance Ministry's reply. Shrimi, over to you.
Well, quite a crucial one, as for the first time, Finance Ministry has acknowledged in the Parliament that 55% of India's export to the United States are now expected to face reciprocal tariff following the recent US trade, tariff strike. So the US has imposed differential reciprocal tariff rates across its trading partner, including India's merchandise export, particularly in the key sectors, and now they're expected to be significantly affected. Now, officials also note that the impact will differ depending on the product type, global demand trends, and the level of differentiation Indian goods offer. Factors like contractual terms and product quality will also play a key role in determining how resilient Indian exports remain. Now, the Department of Commerce is actively engaging with exporters and all industry stakeholders. The consultations are underway to assess the real-time challenges across sectors and the way it's evolving. Now, the government also emphasized the fact that it prioritizes the welfare of farmers, entrepreneurs, exporters, MSMEs, and reiterated its commitment to protect national interests. Now, it also added that all necessary steps will be taken to mitigate trade risk and safeguard India's position in the global markets.
And just a few hours after Amitabh Kant's statement, the Prime Minister has put out a tweet on X that he had a warm conversation with Ukrainian President Zelensky. Emphasizing the need for an early and peaceful resolution of the conflict, the Prime Minister has reaffirmed India's support for efforts aimed at earliest restoration of peace. NDTV's Ghazali now joins us now. Ghazali, this coming in at a very crucial time. What was discussed during this call?
Two significance of this conversation which Prime Minister Modi had with President Zelensky. One, Mr. Zelensky has been calling up Western leaders before the August 15 meet between Putin and Trump because he has not been invited and he's upset about it. But he also thought of calling Prime Minister Modi, kind of shows that what kind of diplomatic significance Prime Minister Modi or India holds in this global scenario. The second point is that Indian Prime Minister is one of the very few and rare leaders who managed to speak to both the leaders since this crisis or the conflict began. He spoke to Mr. Putin multiple times. He has spoken to Mr. Zelensky as well. That shows that India's policy for this conflict remains consistent, unlike US, where we saw that when Mr. Trump came to power, he insulted Mr. Zelensky after inviting him to Oval Office. And now when he later got irritated with Mr. Putin for not stopping the war, he started announcing sanctions against Russia. But unlike US, our policy has been consistent. We have not stopped our trade with Russia, but we have also continued our conversations with